It seems when it's cold out, I always crave soup. And well, it's winter about 6 months out of the year where I live. So it's always cold. And as a consequence, I'm always eating soup. So I was talking to someone the other day about how superior homemade broccoli soup is compared to the canned stuff. The canned stuff is just this weird, maybe there's 3 or 4 pieces of broccoli and it's thick and it's kind of lumpy and it's not very good. And then you take a homemade broccoli soup with real actual chunks of broccoli. It's probably one of the best soups you can make. The taste and texture alone are far superior. I think the only drawback is it takes about a half hour to make, but sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. Go ahead and start with a large pot over medium-high heat. Add in 3 tablespoons of olive oil and throw in 1 knob or 2 tablespoons of butter. We want a bit more fat with this one and you'll see why in a minute. While the oil heats up, roughly chop 2 medium onions. Add the onions to the pot with the oil and the butter. Let the onions slightly cook for about 2 minutes. You want them to soften but not brown. From here, roughly chop 3 cloves of garlic and put them off to the side. Next, we're going to grab 6 crowns of broccoli and cut the stems off. We're using every part of the broccoli, so use everything. First, I'm going to remove the florets from the stems, take those off, and then with the stems, roughly chop them and put them off the side with the garlic. Florets we'll save for later because we're definitely going to use them. Take those chopped broccoli stems and garlic and put them in the pot with your onions and stir around and let it cook for an additional 2 minutes. People always ask me, Ian, is broccoli soup good for me? I always say, yeah, it is, as long as you're not broccoli. But seriously, we're gonna do some egregious things to this broccoli, probably banned by the Geneva Convention. Now that broccoli, garlic, and onions are all starting to heat up and soften a bit, I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of flour or gluten-free flour, something to thicken up this soup. It's already gonna get thickened from the broccoli stems and the broccoli itself. I also wanted to add a thickener to give some body and texture to the soup as well. Let me know in the comments below how you like to thicken your soups. From here, we're gonna cook the flour out for about a minute to just remove some of that starchy taste. I'm gonna add in 1 liter chicken broth and bring it up to a boil. Once the broth starts to boil, I'm gonna take that pile of broccoli and put it in the pot. I'm gonna save a quarter of it because some fucker out there is gonna be like, this isn't broccoli soup. There's no broccoli in it. You know what? These broccoli florets, this is our alibi. This shows that there's actual broccoli in the soup. Shaking broccoli at you. Oh. Once again, bring that chicken broth up to a boil. Reduce the heat down to medium. Cover with a lid and let it simmer for 15 minutes. This is gonna make all the broccoli and everything in there nice and tender. Hey, if you wanna get more soup videos, please go ahead and subscribe to get more great videos like this because I have another month of winter and there's gonna be more soup videos coming out. Now that the broccoli is tender, I'm gonna take a stick blender or feel free to use a stand blender, but if you're using a stand blender, please, for the love of fucking God, be careful. Don't burn yourself when you're pouring the soup into the blender. Stick blender works best. I highly suggest you use a stick blender for this. We're gonna blend the fucking hell out of this soup. We want no lumpy lumps, so get it nice and smooth. Take that reserved broccoli florets that we had and dump them into the soup. Boom, proof that there's broccoli in that soup. Add in a 1/4 cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of grated cheddar cheese. Serve by spooning the soup into a bowl. All his little friends looking around, cheering him on like, yeah, you did it, you're soup now, woo! Finish the soup with a little bit of extra cheddar cheese, and you know what, the biggest flex of them all, garnish with a little bit of broccoli microgreens. All your haters can get fucked. This soup is amazing. Tastes awesome, on budget, and it comes together in half an hour. Doesn't get any better than that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.